Life, a vast, intricate journey filled with both marvel and mystery, has perpetually drawn us toward two timeless questions. What is the meaning of life? And what is its purpose? These questions transcend eras, cultures, and disciplines. They weave through the realms of philosophy, religion, and science. Yet, they remain as compelling and as elusive as ever. But what if the answers do not lie in the vastness of the cosmos? What if, instead, they reside within ourselves? What if they are hidden in the essence of our very being? What Buddhist teachings call Buddha nature. Join me as we explore this profound truth. Together, we will uncover the origins and purpose of Buddha nature and its role in illuminating life's ultimate meaning. Part 1. Illuminating Buddha nature. The Buddha affirmed in the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, all sentient beings possess Buddha nature. This teaching reminds us of a profound truth. Every being carries Buddha nature within. But have we ever paused to ask ourselves, what is Buddha nature and what is its origin? Finding answers to these questions helps us uncover our true essence. It allows us to deeply understand the noble meaning of existence. So, what exactly is Buddha nature? Buddha nature, as described by the Buddha, is the seed of enlightenment already planted within the consciousness of every individual. However, this seed is often obscured, hidden by ignorance, greed, anger, and delusion. These are the very factors that perpetuate suffering and entrap beings in the cycle of rebirth. In the northern Buddhist scriptures, the Buddha declared, "Sentient beings are Buddhas to be." This statement emphasizes a profound truth. The seed of Buddha nature holds immense potential to develop into full enlightenment. Buddha nature embodies the wisdom and compassion of a Buddha, but in a latent, unawakened form. To fully awaken this nature, individuals must go through a process of cultivation, practice, and adherence to the Dharma. For this reason, Buddha nature is also referred to as the Buddha seed or the Buddha essence. To better understand, let's consider some relatable examples. 1. The genetic analogy. Think of human DNA. It contains all the genetic information necessary to shape our physical and mental attributes, a foundational blueprint of potential. Yet, not all genes are expressed automatically. Their activation depends on specific conditions. Similarly, Buddha nature represents the potential for enlightenment inherent in every being, but it does not manifest on its own. It's a latent blueprint, waiting to be activated. Without learning, practice, and effort, this potential remains dormant. Only by cultivating wisdom and compassion can the Buddha seed fully bloom. 2. The untapped potential. Imagine someone with extraordinary intelligence, an innate capacity for mastering logic, mathematics, or the sciences. Yet, without study or dedication, this talent lies dormant. Buddha nature works in the same way. It's like an unpolished gem. Without conscious effort, it won't shine. But with persistent practice and self-reflection, it becomes ever purer and more radiant. What then is the origin of Buddha nature? In Buddhist teachings, the Buddha affirmed that Buddha nature resides in the mind and represents the inherent enlightenment present in all beings. However, Buddhist teachings do not delve deeply into the ultimate origin of Buddha nature, instead emphasizing the importance of recognizing and awakening this potential. To shed more light on this subject, we can incorporate perspectives from Caodaism, a relatively new religion that emerged in Vietnam in the early 20th century. Caodaism uniquely integrates the core teachings of 5 major world religions: Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, Christianity, and Islam. This synthesis provides a holistic perspective on human philosophy, enabling us to reconcile seemingly conflicting viewpoints and gain a more comprehensive understanding of life's spiritual dimensions. According to the fundamental teachings of Caodaism, human beings are considered a microcosm consisting of 3 parts: the physical body, the soul, and the spiritual essence. The Supreme Being has endowed every soul with a divine spark, a sacred light, the eternal and immortal essence originating from His divine essence. Souls descend to the material world, borrowing physical bodies to learn, accumulate merit, and cultivate virtue. The material world is likened to a vast school where souls undergo trials and evolve across lifetimes, ultimately achieving harmony with the universe. Next, let's compare 2 central concepts: Buddha nature in Buddhism and the divine spark in Caodaism. While these ideas stem from different philosophical systems, both aim to explain the sacred essence within human beings. Let's explore their similarities and differences across key aspects. Let's start with their definitions. Buddha nature, according to Buddhism, is the seed of enlightenment, an inherent potential for wisdom and compassion present in all sentient beings. Meanwhile, the divine spark, as described in Caodaism, is an eternal, sacred light bestowed by the Supreme Being. Now, let's consider their nature. Buddha nature is seen as pure, uncreated, and indestructible, embodying the potential for enlightenment. Similarly, the divine spark is eternal, reflecting wisdom and compassion, but it is directly tied to its divine origin in the Supreme Being. One of the clearest differences lies in their origin. Buddhism emphasizes that Buddha nature is intrinsic, with no reference to a creator or Supreme Being. In contrast, Caodaism asserts that the divine spark originates directly from the Supreme Being, the creator of the universe. Both concepts agree that the sacred essence exists as latent potential. Buddha nature requires awakening through meditation, study, and adherence to Dharma. The divine spark is often veiled by desires and ignorance, and must be purified through self-cultivation and virtuous deeds. The paths to awakening also differ slightly. Buddhism focuses on self-effort, emphasizing meditation and the cultivation of wisdom and compassion. Caodaism combines personal effort with divine guidance from the Supreme Being, offering a blend of human and divine support. Perhaps the most significant distinction lies in the relationship to God. Buddhism does not address a relationship with God, emphasizing self-realization and internal effort. Caodaism, on the other hand, highlights that the divine spark connects humans to the Supreme Being, emphasizing a sacred relationship between humanity and divinity. Finally, let's look at the ultimate goals of each teaching. Buddhism seeks to achieve enlightenment, liberating beings from suffering and the cycle of rebirth to enter nirvana. Caodaism envisions the soul's return to its divine origin, uniting with the Supreme Being and achieving universal harmony. By integrating the 2 teachings, it can be affirmed that Buddha nature and the divine spark represent the same sacred essence. Since no being can simultaneously possess 2 sacred essences, the Caodaist teaching asserts that this sacred essence originates from the Supreme Being. Thus, Buddha nature can be understood as having its source in the Supreme Being. From a synthesized perspective, we can conclude Buddha nature resides in the Citta, while the Citta belongs to the soul. Why must Buddha nature be awakened? The Buddha emphasized, wisdom cannot be given. Anyone seeking wisdom must learn and practice on their own. This statement implies that, despite being an embodiment of infinite wisdom, compassion, and miraculous power, the Buddha could not bestow his wisdom upon any being. Wisdom cannot be gifted or transferred. It can only be attained through self-study and self-discipline. Thus, the Buddha created countless scriptures to guide beings, rather than using his supernatural abilities to directly lead them to enlightenment. Enlightenment and wisdom are not results of external intervention, but are the fruits of personal effort. The Buddha can show the path, but walking that path is the responsibility of each individual. Part 2. What is the meaning and purpose of life? The meaning and purpose of life lie in recognizing, nurturing, and actualizing the divine essence inherent within us. In Buddhist teachings, this essence is referred to as Buddha nature, the latent seed of enlightenment that resides within every sentient being. According to Caodaism, it is the divine spark, a sacred light bestowed by the Supreme Being, which serves as a guide for the soul's spiritual evolution. Understanding the meaning of life. Life is more than mere survival or the pursuit of material success. It is a profound journey of self-discovery, self-cultivation, and transcendence. At its core, life is a school of learning where we face challenges, grow through experiences, and cultivate virtues such as wisdom, compassion, and moral integrity. By understanding and embracing our true nature, whether viewed as Buddha nature or the divine spark, we come to see life as an opportunity to align ourselves with the universal principles of truth, love, and harmony. This alignment allows us to transcend suffering, ignorance, and worldly attachments, ultimately leading to spiritual liberation and fulfillment. The purpose of life. From a Buddhist perspective, the ultimate purpose of life is to awaken the Buddha nature within us. This involves overcoming ignorance and delusion, understanding the Four Noble Truths and following the Noble Eightfold Path, cultivating wisdom and compassion, developing qualities that uplift ourselves and benefit others, attaining enlightenment, breaking free from the cycle of birth and rebirth, samsara, and achieving nirvana, a state of ultimate peace and liberation. From the lens of Caodaism, life's purpose is to return to our divine origin. The divine spark within us is a fragment of the Supreme Being, and our journey through life is a process of refining this sacred essence. This is achieved by living virtuously, practicing righteousness, humility, and love, accumulating merit through acts of service, kindness, and selflessness, seeking divine guidance, aligning our actions with the teachings of the Supreme Being to achieve spiritual harmony. The convergence of teachings. When we synthesize the teachings of Buddhism and Caodaism, a common truth emerges. Life is a sacred opportunity for growth and transformation. Whether it is Buddha nature or the divine spark, the essence within us carries the potential for enlightenment and union with the divine. This essence must be awakened and cultivated through dedicated effort, introspection, and a commitment to spiritual principles. Practical steps toward meaning and purpose. Now, let's get practical. How can we begin nurturing this sacred essence within us? Here are some actionable steps. Self-reflection. Regularly examine your thoughts, actions, and motivations to ensure they align with your higher purpose. Spiritual practice. Engage in meditation, prayer, or rituals that deepen your connection to your inner essence and the divine. Acts of service. Contribute to the well-being of others, recognizing that compassion and love are central to spiritual growth. Continuous learning. Study spiritual teachings to expand your understanding and refine your character. Resilience and perseverance. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, trusting that every step brings you closer to your ultimate purpose. In conclusion, the meaning and purpose of life are rooted in the realization and fulfillment of the divine essence within us. It is a journey of enlightenment, love, and unity, both with ourselves and the cosmos. By nurturing our Buddha nature or divine spark, we not only elevate our own existence, but also contribute to the harmony and evolution of the world around us. Buddha nature is the pure essence of enlightenment, the light within all beings, containing infinite wisdom and compassion. However, this light does not radiate on its own. It must be nurtured and awakened through dedicated effort and practice. By integrating Caodaist teachings, we understand that Buddha nature originates from the divine spark bestowed by the Supreme Being, guiding souls to evolve through lifetimes and ultimately return to the sacred source. Remember, the profound meaning of life lies in the daily nurturing and cultivation of the Buddha seed within, guiding it to flourish into a fully realized Buddha.